Hey, 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 it's Fat Albert up in there. I'm just like, what's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? Once again, Maggie is hiding right about now because I ain't quite together. I got to get ready to go to work, but I just wanted to get on in here because I promised y'all a show today. It might be a short and sweet one today. Look at it. Y'all already in the chat. What's going on? Y'all better put some red and blacks in the chat. Say what's up. You are there. We want to see who's all tuned in today right before we get into all this news and updates. We're going to try to do this more often, definitely on weekends and weekdays. I appreciate y'all tuning into that Thursday night show. We'll bring it right on back maybe next Thursday because I'm actually officially off that day. So that shall work out. But let's go ahead and get into the regulator show. Even though we're missing Mr. Magnus, he is under the weather right about now. He had, Daddy dude, it's Father's Day. She don't end up giving him a Father's Day fever, unfortunately. So now he got to be laid up on Father's Day. I hope she give him all kinds of kisses and love for getting her in check in health. And now he's sick. So we're gonna send prayers out to Mr. Magnus. But who do we have right next to me up top right there over there enjoying himself?
Up, man? It's your boy. Night Ride on the track. We checking in. We live on location from Fort Walton Beach, Florida, man. I'm on my vacation. I'm enjoying my damn self. And hey, I'm ready to talk some Falcon football, man, before I get ready to hit these streets again before I get ready to go. You know?
All right, then. Oh yeah, bring us some souvenirs too. You probably be blacker than black coming back because it's hot there and it's hot
Boy, what?
here.
Man, the crab looked at me yesterday and was like, "Nigga, do you know how hot it is?"
What's up, Boomer, Bubba, Motown, Mike, Isaac, Crimes? I see y'all. And underneath me, who do we have also? Y'all don't seen his face a couple of times. Y'all should know who it is, but go ahead and introduce yourself just in case they don't know.
Hey, what's going on? It's Juan, the Atlanta Falcons therapist. Y'all know what it is. What's up, Dr. Shadow?
What's up? So we got the therapist in here, so y'all need some healing. These Falcons gonna put you through the clinic. Y'all make sure y'all listen to him and then y'all check him out. He also actually does massages and everything. So he'll get y'all how to check him out sooner or later. But for real, we got a therapist now. We got the comedian up top, producer, all of that. He is an entertainment artist. And speaking of entertainment, right next to him, same thing. Another producer up in here. Who we got?
Yes. You got I am the Lock in Sports. Pretty much happy Father's Day to all the fathers, of course. So I'm a producer as well. I'm an artist as well. I don't know if you can see the Matt Ryan. Let me see. Matt Ryan So pretty much just in here, ready to talk these sports, ready to talk about our teams and show love and hey, to everybody, let's get it.
Let's do it. So we can have some topics. We can put it out there, but of course, y'all can just go for what you know. I guess we could get right into the beginning. Of course, minicamp is over. And the players are kind of on a little summer break, but let's talk about it. After y'all kind of rewatched everything and seeing what's going on, y'all got any other thoughts on what's going to happen leading up to training camp? What are y'all expectations of going forward? If y'all want to hit on that.
Yeah. My only takeaway from Minicamp was Arthur Smith comment, but I know y'all gonna get to that later. Just to hear him say that Desmond Ridder is light years ahead of the game, it just made me feel good about it.
Let's get into it. That was really the next topic right there. Thoughts on Arthur Smith's comments on Desmond Ridder. You already brought it in. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, man. Everybody said Desmond Ridder light years ahead of him. And like I said, I got cousins in Cincinnati. They literally watched him play his whole career in college. So they know what they're talking about. I'm taking their word for it. And I like what I've seen out of him so far. So hopefully he'll be able to, come in and take the league by storm, like Matt did when he first came in. Because like I said, I'm not really too high on brother Mario. So hopefully he come in, get the job done, make it do what it do, man. I'll let y'all take it from here.
Yeah, you're right. To piggyback off of that, OTAs, you seen him. He throws. He's calm. He's poised, and he's focused. You know what I'm saying? He's real locked in. He's not taking that hunger just saying what he's saying over the camera and then doing something different on the field. Dude is actually like, look, let me prove to you why I say who I am, you know. And that's going to show on the field, especially in the locker room, because then everybody else buys in. So that means you build that trust on the field. So it makes it easier for you guys to do what you got to do on offense.
Yeah, I agree. It's pretty much, I mean, there's nothing more than saying what y'all both just said. You know, he's showing his football IQ, as far as being a leader as well. I'm actually, like I said, I'm looking forward for both Mariota and Ritter. Like I said, with Mariota, I just want him, because we do have a lot of people on our team on these prove it deals, and I feel like, you know, he has this mindset where he wasn't, you know, a slouch as a quarterback. They always talked about him getting hurt, which I feel like is part of the game. Anybody can get hurt. Like, God forbid if anybody goes out there and they first play and get smacked up, but it's a contact sport. So I'm not really worrying about that, or anybody being injury prone. I'm just more so like, you know, prove your salt, you know, prove your worth, prove it why we brought you here. And like I say, he's already somebody that's plugged into the system anyway, as far as Mariota go. And then, you know, Ritter, like I said, he's already learning the system and taking, you know, other people up under his wings as far as London, and they doing a little practice thing together. So that pretty much helps them, you know, gain that cohesiveness. And that shows, like I say, it shows his leadership. I mean, I enjoy that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good they're working together right now, because, you know, we ain't nobody expecting them to just make a Super Bowl run this year, man. So they already know. They already know what they're trying to build for. They're trying to build for and work for, you know.
We are in a win now mentality. So if the wins equate with some playoffs wins, and then it gets us to where we need to be, I don't want to hear no naysayers. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like I said, I'm for the team. I'm for the culture. I like what we're doing. I like the draft picks. I like the direction that Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith are going. I like that Arthur Blank is allowing them to do what they need to do to get the pieces that they need.
And I'm hoping that Mariota, you know, we all kind of skeptical about it. I really do hope that he comes in here and prove himself, definitely. You know what I'm saying? Because and then we have, I wanted to be where we have a good quarterback situation regardless of who's on center at the moment. You know, it'd be great to have both of them coming up and doing great things for the team, you know, that way, because, you know, he's a veteran. So it'll be ideal, you know, for it to be okay. He kind of come in and begin and get everything set up. And then, of course, just kind of sit him on down, like we kind of switch, like Georgia do. You know, we switch between quarterbacks here and there. We haven't had that situation. It was like, basically, if Matt was down, it was a done deal, because we didn't really have nobody backed up that really, you know, they like, what, last season it was both of them. Both of them. It was Franks and forgot the other guy, but they
Matt Shaw
threw an interception right soon as they got the chance.
It was Matt Shaw, wasn't it?
Is it who the heck was it? I can't think of it right now. Who was it? Who was the other quarterback, y'all?
I know.
You don't remember because you don't.
It was it was traumatic watching it. So I mean, you know,
it was like one interception, the other one came in, did the same exact thing right after that. I was like, come on, I forgot what game that was. Y'all, Rosen. Okay, I knew y'all knew it. Okay, that's who it was. So
Josh Rosen. Yeah.
So to have two good quarterbacks, you know, kind of right, you know, in the locker, you know, in the room together, film and preparing like they're going to start, so it can just be where both of them ready to go when we need it. That'd be a great combination to have. Definitely. However, Ritter was, let's see, and happy Father's Day. Eric Mack said, happy Father's Day, everybody.
Appreciate it.
However, Ritter has been looking. Mariota looks to be at least 1% better than this entire time. And like, you know, Knight Rider does say, honestly, it's all speculation. It's all talks. We don't know what's going to happen, especially with training camp. Lord forbid, you know, let's hope that everybody comes out of there healthy. But we really can't say much until, you know, it's more of those wait and see situations.
Until week one.
Yeah. Well, like I said before, the first 3 preseason games is the time for the team to get all they jitters out, Time for them to really see, okay, this is what's going on. This is real time. Kind of give them guys an opportunity to get acclimated to the speed of the game. Even though starting off is going to be slow. That's why I said the first 3 preseason games are going to be key, because that's going to tell you, one, how which way the team is leaning on offense, especially. Are they going to start with the run game? Is the run game solidified enough where they can go lead with that, or is it a passing game? On defense, are we getting to the quarterback? Are we doing an effective pass rush? You know what I'm saying? Are we wrapping up on our tackles? That sort of thing. So you're going to see which way each side of the ball is leaning, and even to include, special teams. Definitely going to be, taking a look at that, seeing how our punters do. So it's going to be a whole organizational situation. But as far as Ridder and Mariota's going to be put out there first, so that so the team can say, okay, is this guy back? Can he do what he, claiming he can do? And while he's doing that, Ridder is going to be on the sideline watching. And like I said, be very mindful of when he comes to sit down and the defense goes on the field. Mariota's going to be like, bro, look at this, watch how I did this, watch how I do that. And now he's going to be schooling him. So when it's his time to shine, it's an easier transition than just throwing him out there into the fight.
Yeah. And another thing, too, you said something about preseason. That also goes for Arthur Smith. He got to prepare better than what he did last year. He made a real rookie mistake not getting his team together in preseason. And they showed that first game when they came out flat against Philly.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure even this year they're gonna go back and he's gonna go over that very first game. Because that was a telltale sign, and that's to let everybody know, okay, this is what happens when we are not prepared. So this is what we need to do to be prepared.
You got to understand too. Our team was blown up by that time.
Yeah.
We got people who wasn't there. We got people who didn't show up. We got people who was gambling. We got people who quit on the team. You know what I'm saying? So it was like when he came in, when Arthur Smith came through the door, he was just like, I can't be mad about playing with people I've never played with, like players I've never worked with. I can't be mad about them. So if they don't want to be here, bye. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't really like the first game. I was expecting, to be honest with you, I was expecting an L anyway, because just based off of what he was walking into, he was walking into a messed up situation that was left for him. Like, what's left on your plate, deal with it. So he dealt with it. We got spanked we got spanked real good.
Let's get into Ultra Shadow's comment real quick. And I got a good feeling about Desmond Ridder. The plan is for Mariota to be the starter this season and let Ridder develop. I think he'll be the long-term guy at quarterback.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Yeah, 100.
Ridder's going to be that long-term guy.
That's what I was telling people. Like, y'all, like, people think we just going to skip over this season and go wait for CJ Stroud. We not waiting on them. They got the quarterback they want.
If they do be bad, if anything, if they gonna have that number 1 pick, they gonna probably want to get Will Anderson. You need that'll be a good rush, the extra weapon on the defensive side of the ball.
But you know what? The thing that people got to realize, Atlanta was never known for developing players. And this is what we have to get them time to do. Because if you're going to change the culture, you can't have a turnstile mentality. You got to develop players. And my opinion is Ridder is going to be a great quarterback simply because they're going to take time to develop him. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to have that second-hand nature type play when it comes to your quarterback, your receivers, your running backs, and that aspect. Because if you don't, that's when you start trying to look for another quarterback. But we don't need one. You got an archetype and a prototype. So they're gonna bounce off each other.
Yeah.
Right. So look at it like this also. If you want to look at the salary, we have the rookie deal for Ridder. He can go 5-year option. Anybody that's a rookie, we can have them for 4 to 5 years before we have to really pay them their money. You know what I'm saying? Then we can franchise tag them if that's the case. But at the end of the day, those are the things that I don't feel like you said, like, we're not looking for a turnstile. We're looking turnstiling players. We're really looking at developing players and winning now. And then you think about the salary cap that we're going to have next year and all these other people that are on these little smaller deals, how many people we can bring in that can complement what we already have, because it's going to be a testament to their second year tenure to see what we have and what we develop. So once we figure out what we do got, what's not working and what's working, and then we got other options, we move those players out and then bring in veteran players for this young team that we're developing.
And then too, you got to build up that offense, the offensive line. You got to know who on the offensive line is going to be effective enough that's going to help them out. So with the kind of money that we do have, yes, we're going to have to we'll have to pay our players, the ones that have actually, taken out like AJ Terrell and all of them, because I'm pretty sure he's going to show out this year. But that gives you an opportunity to finish building a great team around a newer quarterback.
Right.
Number one, prolonging his career. And then two, allowing him to be the best he can be before you try to ship him out. You know what I'm saying? So we are work in progress, but we're further along than what most people think we are.
All right. Look at you see Eric Mack's comment. I think Arthur Smith is a great developing coach. I agree.
And I'm glad that you brought that in also, Marin. And yes, I think he is a great coach. But this kind of goes into what Matt is kind of wanted to talk about. Well, we're gonna go ahead and jump right into it, because the thoughts and level on the disrespect, because how we're critiquing our team as to how we want it to be. We also got the media. We also got folks that already gave up on us from day one. The thoughts on the level of disrespect the Falcons have coming into this year. Let's kind of get right into that as well.
Man, let me start that out right there. Because boy, I don't know who Brian McFadden is, but he gonna be one surprised ass when that season starts. I don't think we're gonna be as bad as a lot of people think. Everybody think we're gonna be like New York Jets or Detroit Lions bad like that. I mean, yeah, the schedule hard, but I don't think we're gonna be that bad. Arthur Smith took us to a 7-10 record with the roster that we had last year. And to be honest with you, I think the roster this year is better than the one last year.
Oh, it is. It's definitely. It's better.
Brian McFadden, he like the way he answered that question. The guy asked like, "Is there any optimism for any fans?" And he's the head Brian McFadden. No, it's gonna be a long season. Hopefully, you see some fight. I'm like, bro, who are you?
First of all, have you seen everything I've seen on the internet is they got the Panthers above us, and I'm trying to figure out how, where.
Right.
On what
thing the Panthers got over us is the fact they got a running back. That's it.
No, we got a running back.
But see, what I say to that is, we have to wait and see how that works out, because we all know y'all gonna run Christian McCaffrey into the ground, but that's another story.
Right. We know they're gonna definitely do that. I don't think Matt Rule gonna make the rest of the season.
No. But my thoughts on the disrespect is typical. It's typical because, like I said before, these fans are stuck on what we did last year. And they didn't even think we were going to get to 7 wins last year, much less how everybody was on the edge of their seat when we were a couple games away from playoffs. Yeah. So had we made the playoffs, then what? Y'all were already ragging on Matt Ryan anyway. So... And when we lost Julio Jones and really decided he didn't want to show up no more, y'all like, oh, that's the season. They lost, and we pulled out some more games. So,
see, I told people this. This year gonna be the year that all the people that hated Matt Ryan, they gonna realize what they had.
Oh yeah,
big time. They're gonna be don't know what you got till it's gone, and I'm gonna be sitting there looking at every last one of they dumb asses like, yeah, I told you.
But remember what happened. What happened the game that Matt Ryan first came in? What happened?
Touchdown, Michael Jenkins, boom.
Nobody expected him to do that. Nobody, like I said, he was hated at the draft.
I didn't expect him to do that.
Right, he was hated at the draft. So what do you think this year is going to be? You got 2 of them. Not one, you got 2. So
imagine after that first season, man. I'm like, man, we got us something here.
Yeah, imagine what's going to happen. Now, and see, what everybody is looking at, okay, we're playing a division rival first game.
Yeah.
So the stakes are a lot higher. Every time we play the Saints, we play harder.
Play them tough. Every time.
Much harder.
And you never know who's going to come out on top. It don't matter how bad or how good a team is. That game right there is just like Georgia, Florida. Records go out the window, rankings go out the window. They just go out there and they play.
And then you got to think, we weren't good at playing at home. So that's two narratives we got to overcome. So like I keep saying, those 3 preseason games, that's your time to get it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
When we go see the Aints, that's when you need to show up.
That's when you need to show up, because once you beat the Saints, that's gonna set a good tone for the fan base.
Oh yeah,
and it's gonna you let her beat the Saints, and then especially they gonna show up regardless, no matter how bad we is. We gonna show up for the Saints. We there.
The first game is gonna be the film that everybody is going to try to dissect down to the smallest part to see how they can take us out. Watch it. See.
And I like Noah's comment. He said, I saw this clip from Jordan Palmer back when we hired Arthur Smith, who's been training Ritter in London, and he called him his favorite coach in NFL because of how quickly he developed him. Okay. What y'all think about that? The good comment, Noah. Look at you, Mr. Professor.
That's it.
And that's coming from Jordan Palmer.
Yep.
I trust him before I listen to anything Dan Orlovsky got to say. This is the same guy that ran out the back of his own damn end zone. You think I'm going to sit there and listen to anything he say? like who doesn't? We're talking about this a couple weeks ago. A lot of the analysts on ESPN were trash as players. You think I'm going to listen to them?
And listen, look what Noah says. So I'll give you a better one, Juan. He said, I think we got a better offense roster than the Patriots. Oh yeah. We have a lot of potential. We have a lot of flexibility, and we're unpredictable. That's what I love about it. We're unpredictable. You can't go into the first game saying, "Oh, we know what the Falcons are going to do," because you don't know.
Nobody knows. Everybody thought the Falcons were going to be bad the year after Michael Vick went to prison, and we went 11-5 and went to the playoffs.
There you go. But see, they're still reeling off for the fact, like I said, until the first game when they realize that Matt Ryan ain't in the pocket and the offense doesn't move the same way. That's when
Cameron Jordan gonna be running a little bit more.
Oh yeah, because
he's gonna be running a little bit more. He gonna hate that devil. He usually don't have to run. He could just sit there and he could drink him some sweet tea and go hit Matt Ryan. Oh, Mariota really finna get going on you. Now you gotta do a little more work. Let's see how you do with that, Cameron Jordan.
Well, what? No, what's gonna happen is think about it. You got Mariota in the pocket. Okay, I'm gonna give you a scenario. You got Mariota in the pocket. They're gonna try to do A and B gap blitzes to see how good he is, to see if they can hit him, to prove to see if he's healthy, if he's still fragile. And the moment they try to do that, let's say the pocket collapse, and they get into the backfield, but then he scrambles. Now you got somebody that's extending the play. Now you got to rethink your whole game plan. And I'm telling you, they're gonna come at him as though he's like Matt Ryan, like he can't go anywhere. Because they don't believe he can move around and do what he can do. And the minute he makes a play, all of a sudden now you got to sit back and actually you got to rethink and retool what you're doing. But best believe, if we anywhere near winning their game or overrunning them, they're gonna start getting desperate and start throwing blitzes just so they can take him out the game. That's gonna be their main point, is to take Mariota out the game. So that's why we have to establish the run no matter what we do. So that it opens up the play action pass, and then we can, Arthur Smith can be as creative as he needs to be.
Right.
But see, that was our biggest problem last year. We just had Cordero Patterson, and he was kind of hybrid everywhere. We thought that's what Mike Davis was gonna be, but we know how the hell that turned out.
Well, they're gonna try the old tactics. They're gonna try to bracket Pitts. They're gonna try to shut down Patterson because they figure we're gonna go back into our old way of playing. Nobody believes that we are a new culture. They say it looks good on paper. Nobody believes that.
I think
that's a question for everybody.
I honestly think it's because. Oh, you got a question? What's up?
What's going on?
This is a question for everybody. And I've been listening. You guys, I'm gonna be in the back a little bit, back and forth. But I got a question for everybody. This is something that a lot of people never really even thought about. You're a head coach.
Mm-hmm.
You're an offensive play caller. You're essentially the overseer over the defense as well, special teams, every aspect of the team.
Mm-hmm.
What happens if you have a limited amount of resources on the offense? What are you thinking as an offensive play caller? If you know you only have Kyle Pitts, Matt Ryan, and Cordero Patterson, who's been consistent the entire year.
Mm-hmm.
Russell Gage been the guy who was in and out of the lineup. What happens when you have that in mind?
I'll take that.
You have those things. What happens? We're talking about the mentality of a head coach. Okay, you're the head coach. You're no longer a fan. Everybody getting their mindset of a head coach. What happens if you only have 3 guys that you can count on the offensive side of the ball all year long?
Well, at the end of the day, you want to limit your playbook. You're going to start with your playbook first because you're going to be like, okay, I'm going to try to simplify everything. And then you also look at the fact that, you want to go in and just think, let's just get through the game, with positivity. The positive aspect is always seeing the silver lining that your team is going to put the best effort out there on the field. And you hope you guys, buy into what you're saying, because at the end of the day, sometimes if people don't buy into the culture or where a coach is going or how he's bringing his own mentality to the locker room, they're not going to agree with him. I always use the analogy of the Chiefs and how they drafted a quarterback and they had Andy Reid go down there. They was basically about the same team they were, but when Andy Reid got down there, he brought a different culture, he brought a different mindset, and they had winning seasons. So at the mindset of a coach, based off of what you have, like I say, you limit your playbook, you try to take the positive over the negative. You understand the negative and understand, like I said, the plate that was given to you, and you make the best decision possible for the franchise to win. Now, if you don't have people, you don't write the season off. You start taking those notes on, okay, we need this. You start analyzing everything that you get. You start analyzing, your whole playbook based off of what you have. And like I said, when you don't have the pieces, you go get the pieces. Which I felt like he's addressed a lot of pieces that we didn't have. They've already addressed it.
Well, what I would say is, when you in a situation, like you said, where you've got minimum pieces on the field, they're consistent. The first thing as a head coach is, like you said, you minimize the playbook, but what you do, you utilize the plays to those players' strength and try to put them in the best position to win for the situation that you're in. Not doing anything too flashy, but trying to be effective yet simplistic, because at that point you don't have any extra room to try to be cute. You want to, hey, if I know Cordero Patterson can get us 5, 10, 15 yards, set the plays up where I can, get him down the side, or if he's one way, hey, have him go across the middle. Whatever's necessary to get us yards, to get us those first downs, so that we can effectively push the team down into the red zone. You know what I'm saying? Doing stuff that's going to limit interceptions, that's going to limit sacks, because, as you saw, we didn't have a very big receiving corps. So Arthur Smith had to kind of take their talents and be like, all right, this play is going to be specifically for Cordero. This is going to be specifically for Pitts, because I can trust them to get it done.
Mm-hmm. Oh, did somebody free? Oh, I said, did somebody free? Oh, shoot. Basically, hey, you can only do so much with what you got, man. I think, like I said, I think this year, now Arthur Smith finna get everything into place. He got the players that he want. He'll be able to reach in his bag a little bit more and get more done with what he got, man. I think Drake London gonna be. I think he'll make an immediate impact, man. To be honest with you, I really think he's gonna make an immediate impact. He's gonna be a sleeper.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Ain't too many people talking about it. Everybody like, why the hell did the Falcons get a wide receiver? He gonna show you why. He will show you why. Just wait on it.
Oh, man, Mike told him. Oh, man, Mike and Jude, we told him. They look, man. Let me flex my muscles a little bit. All right, I'm about to put my Hulk Hogan 27 pythons on. Look, bro,
we should turn around and show to London.
Bro, we've been talking about this for so long. What the Falcons need. We watch so many games, and we watch them closely. It's the reason why I pose that question is because a lot of people are not focusing on the personnel. What a defensive coordinator needs, and Dean Pease stated earlier this year that he feels 100%. He was about 60% of as far as his confidence in the roster. Now it's 100%. So now you have a defensive coordinator and an offensive coordinator that comfortable. I'm not sure that Arthur is 100%, but I know Dean Pease is 100% comfortable with the necessary pieces that he has on the defense. So when you have a confident offensive coordinator / coach, defensive coordinator that comfortable with what they have, now they can put the players in position. They can send them AA, C, B gap blitzes. You can play a little bit more, man. You can play zone comfortably and not worry about if your defensive line is going to get there. These are the things that we talk about. You can you can call a few plays to make sure, all right, I need these 3 points. All right, I'm going to be a little bit conservative. I'm going to hand the ball off and get the ball into Mario's hands so he can use his legs. You can put Desmond Ridder in the game so he can use his leg in different types of packages. Like you can use Felipe Franks, who's a tight end. You can turn around and give him the ball, have him come on the end around. Everybody think he's going to be a runner, but he man. It's so many things. You mentioned it.
I'm glad you mentioned Felipe Franks. Man, I'm really starting to have a good feeling about him being a tight end.
They call me the man scientist for no reason. They don't call me the man scientist. Look, bro, I'm always thinking on a lot of shit.
Hey, he could be better than Taysom Hill, man. I'm really having good feelings about that shit, dog.
But you know what? Mike hit on something, and he hit on it without saying it. What this team is going to be geared towards, and Mike, you said this a lot last year. Clock management.
Yes.
Clock management, because you got to think when plays break down and your quarterback can run for 10, 11 yards, that's a first down. That's clock management. That's wearing down the defense. You see what I'm saying? That's putting us in position, because if you think about it, if we start off let's just say we start off at our own 30 and we wear them down to like the 15. Now all you got to do is you put your weapons and kill them in the red zone, because their defense is tired by that. You know what I'm saying? And with being unpredictable, that causes the defense to bounce around. They look like marbles because they don't know what you're doing. They're trying to adjust, and that adjustment burns clock, and that's what you want, because you don't want to give them at the end of the game, you don't want to give them a decent amount of time to try to come back. And that's a lot of things. That's times a lot of games we lost because we were up, but we didn't manage the clock well enough to keep the team to where when they got the ball, they didn't have any time to really make no good plays.
A la Dan Quinn.
Oh, yeah, Mike Smith too. Mike Smith regime. I don't know if you remember old Silverhead. You know, we used to be up, and he'll never run the clock. It's like and they're not playing to win, they playing the clock. He'll try to run the clock, but then our defense can hold leads. Then that will end up not giving us enough time to come back to win.
Well, see, when you go up against teams that are known for having stout defenses that are difficult to break down, you have to do clock management. You have to run the ball. You got to wear those defenses out, because that determines the fourth quarter. Because if you can wear them down and they can't make timely stops, that gives the offense that much more cushion to operate without having to go into panic mode. And when you're in panic mode, that lessens the amount of mistakes. You're not throwing interceptions. You're not getting the quarterback sacked because everybody feels like they have a need to where we got to make this or we're not going to make it. You know what I'm saying? So when you do something like that, if you pay attention to clock management, that's going to be key for us with these difficult teams.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What we got next?
Q&A?
What we got next? We got a
Anybody
Q&A.
got questions?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're gonna
anybody
go
got
in the
questions
Q&A.
for us? Anybody got
Yeah.
questions in the chat?
We're waiting on these questions in the chat. While we're waiting on a question, I gotta tell you this funny story about yesterday, right? So I don't know if y'all too familiar with Crab Island in Destin, Florida, right?
Oh yes.
So I rented a jet ski yesterday. Went to Crab Island, met up with my cousin. They had rented a pontoon boat because my cousin lives down here. He lives in Destin, Florida. Well, not Destin. He lives in Fort Walton Beach. He stationed at Eglin Air Force Base. So went to Crab Island, kicked it with them. I go to turn the jet ski in about 15 minutes early. So tell me why I see a dorsal fin in the water. I'm looking like, oh hell no. I know this ain't what I think it is. I said, boy, it might be Jaw great nephew. He finna come get revenge on somebody. But when I seen that dorsal fin come out of the water, boy, I'm gonna make that jet ski stand up. Boy, I'm finna go.
Right.
Just so happened it was just a dolphin just swimming through. I'm like, damn. Flipping came through and scooped me.
It's childhood trauma. Jaws got us all like that.
Right. I was like, that just flipper on my team. He good.
But you know what? Let's take a look at this comment. Noah Tyndale said clock management is also having enough plays to pick up 4 yards each play. So many situations where time was more important to watch than the amount of yards we pick up. Remember, that ain't game. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Mike has said it many times. He used to harp on, he was like, the reason why a lot of these games got away from us is because we did not have an effective run game. We did not control the clock. We did not control time of possession. And a lot of times, time of possession can sometimes dictate whether or not you win a game. Because, like I said, it comes down to a matter of inches.
Let me say this real quick. Let me say this real quick. Because if you don't know, I'm a scheme guy. One of the things when people say clock management, people think automatically it's just a run game. When you look at Green Bay, for instance, you look at the San Francisco 49ers, you look at the Patriots with Tom Brady in Tampa Bay. The things that they do, they don't just control the clock with the running game. They control the clock with the short passing game and continuously getting those 5, 8 yards, 5, 8 yards, and keep the clock running. So it's a healthy balance. So when you don't have you can have a Matt Ryan all day, you can have a Drew Brees all day. But one of the things that made the Saints such a deadly team for 10 years is one thing that people don't really give a lot of credit to Sean Payton. He always, on those short yardage situations, always comes up with some kind of trick play. And this is why Taysom Hill became Taysom Hill, AK-47 was so dangerous. Reggie Bush early in their career, because he used that short passing game and running game to kind of fix and keep the clock turning. It's like when you got a quarterback like Drew Brees and you keep the shot running, it's only so much you can do. So why I bring that up is because we got to keep an eye on one guy that a lot of people aren't paying attention to with the Atlanta Falcons. And it's going to be somebody that nobody really ain't paying attention. Ferguson, the tight end for the backup tight end for the Atlanta Falcons. Because everybody's going to be worried about Drake. Everybody's going to be worried about Kyle Pitts. Everybody's going to be worried about Cordero Patterson. Nobody to that second. And Tyler, like that second tight end is going to be crucial to this offense, because you're not going to be able to focus just on Kyle Pitts as well as Cordero Patterson, and then you don't know what the running backs are going to be able to do. So Ferguson in this offense is going to be extremely key to the balance of this team. Right. Because you got to go back to even the Saints when they had, you remember, the big boy from Georgia. I know Georgia fans know who he is. The big tight end. Benjamin Watson. Benjamin Watson.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
Murdered our asses. He murdered our asses in a lot of games because he just kept the clock turning. That second
That was a
tight end.
wrecking
Man, you just said something then, boy.
That was a human wrecking ball.
I remember being watching at Georgia, man.
Yeah.
And he was held in New Orleans also. I hated the fact he went.
Yes, sir. Yeah, he gave us fits.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, you right, Mike. You right. Absolutely right. Because both, short passing game and the running game like that wears the defenses out. That wears some of the best players out.
I
And
think
you
it's more.
slowly and the thing that's critical is you slowly marching the team down the field. It ain't nothing explosive. It ain't nothing out the way. You getting them first downs, which means you extending the play. So you converting on third downs, and you wearing out the defense because now it's forcing them to play your game at the same time. What you were saying, Mike, it also brings up the unpredictability of our offense because now they don't know which way we're going to go, so they can't lock in on one specific player. They got to watch everybody.
Yeah,
right. That's why
including the quarterback.
I was gonna mention that too, like I said, the mismatches. It gets once, and you gotta think about the penalties that these mismatches are gonna draw because people are gonna start getting frustrated because they can't stop you, and then they're gonna start grabbing your jersey and stuff, and they're gonna get more calls, which is gonna help us move down the field as well. And then we can have those big bodies, big wide receivers, those physical wide receivers.
Oh yeah,
also.
with Pitts and London. Yeah, oh man, ain't gonna be plenty of penalties coming our way.
You still got Alden Tate and you got Edwards. So
man.
Yeah, come on,
man.
We
Alden Tate, man.
But what that also does, that makes us dangerous in the red zone.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
That makes us because how many times did we march teams down the field, get right at the 5-yard line, and could not get the touchdown?
Yeah.
Cool kick.
Yeah. See, now you just throw it up to them and they just go get it.
Right.
You're gonna be a whole lot of contested catches, man.
Right. And no
red
more
zone production gonna pick up this year.
No triple team and Pitts.
Oh yeah.
They knew who he had because when Cordell Patterson went down, the only thing we had was Pitts and Ryan. They just triple team Pitts and we couldn't do nothing.
Right. Oh yeah. How many of y'all play fantasy football, man?
I play. I mean, I usually play, man. I normally do the DraftKings. I started off on FanDuel, but I showed a couple of people how to play. They made a little first $40 once I told them the concept and what you look at. But yeah, I do fantasy, man.
I ain't really no big time gambler, dude. So I mostly just be in the little ESPN league with my brother and my cousin. And we'll probably put in everybody just put in maybe about $10 in the pot, and whoever win the league, they get the whole pot.
Hey Mike, what do you think about this comment right here? What do you guys think about this comment right here?
Fisker knows the offense coming from Tennessee. I agree. Like I said, all the players on the team are people that familiar with Arthur Smith. They're pulling people that they know their worth and they know their capabilities and their athleticism. And I think they're really putting people in their scheme that already knows the scheme. They might change a couple of things, but it's pretty much the same scheme. And it seems like he's building like Arthur Smith was building what he had in Tennessee, but and within our franchise, he had a good running back, Henry. He had, Brown. He had a decent defense. But he also had good tight ends. So at the end of the day, like Fisker, but he was good at blocking as well. So at the end of the day, we need that like blocking because that helps with the running. That's another thing we didn't have was people that can block, like tight ends are willing to block. Those physical receivers need to be ready to block. So that's going to open up the run game too. Or you can do like a, block and then you fade off into an out route or something that, or you can do it with Felipe. He start off as a blocker, go behind, do a little screen pass to him and he's throwing a pass to one of our receivers. Who knows? Or taking it himself. It's so many different directions. Like I said, it's giving us the point that we don't have an identity that anyone can identify. And I think that's where we didn't have an identity. It's like everybody knew what we was doing before we do it. Now it's like we got so many weapons and so many options so many RO options and stuff, that everybody's going to be confused about what we do, and I think that's going to help us.
Well, for years we had a throw it at the wall and let's see if it sticks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because when we had a good defense, we got away from it. You see what I'm saying? When we had the running game, we got away from it. You know, when we had a good offense, you know what I'm saying, we got away from it. Anytime something worked, we got away from it.
Got away from it, yeah. And it wanted to bite us in our ass on the way back.
Yeah, and that became our default, you know, culture. But now we're getting back to what they call a brass tacks football. We getting back to that, like I said, that punch you in the mouth, smash mouth football. And with that, you got to have balance. The teams nowadays, the teams that's got balance, they're the ones that's gonna win games. Because you got a lot of teams, like you said, NFL is speeding up. You know, they going for all these fast, smaller receivers that can get open. You know, and you even, like you said, you got linemen. They got, you know, receiver speed now. So now you have to adapt, but you still got to use that same core value, which is, like I said, moving the man against his will.
Right. Right. All right, guys, this is it for me. I got to head out, but, you know, happy Father's Day to the people that's out there. I'm about to head out, man. Enjoy my day, man. Like I said, I got my Drake London jersey on, you know what I'm saying? For the people who don't know. Yeah, like I said, I represent my boy. But yeah, y'all have a good stream, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Appreciate everybody here, man. Let's go ahead and make this platform.
Appreciate you coming through, bro.
Hey, yeah, brother, man, you know, look, before you go, tell everybody how they can reach out to you, man.
Oh, you can find me on IG and Twitter at Locked In Sports. That's LOCHN Sports with a Z. And hey, you can just go ahead and subscribe. We got more content coming. I got some special stuff coming. So hey, man, let's all get it.
Hey, man, say no more.
All right,
there it is.
All right,
that's it. So make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, support the brother.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir. All right, people.
Absolutely. Appreciate you coming on. And like I said, well, this is a short and sweet show. So like, we're probably just going to hang on tight about another, 15 minutes. Let y'all have the rest of y'all Sunday because there's really not a lot of things to talk about. So, yeah, we'll wrap this up. We're 47 minutes in. Appreciate everybody that's liking, subscribing, and sharing. The numbers are definitely moving up. We're definitely trying to hit that 100 mark as soon as possible. So y'all make sure y'all know that we'll have a weekend show every week as much as we possibly can. So I don't see any questions. I see Noah's trying to, he want to get his fantasy league team together. So y'all pay attention to Noah in the Discord. Discord, if you put the Discord link in the chat, Noah, get everybody over there so we can kind of get that going. And Jerome, I see you in the house. That's Sweets by Deshaun. That's the person that you check out if you want those slap your mama cakes made from scratch. Definitely. If you're missing the Father's Day, go ahead. What you got? Oh, you got to show the view. He out there on vacation for his birthday.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, right?
There. Live from Fort Walton Beach, Florida, man. Hey, let me tell y'all something. The beaches in the Gulf Coast of Florida, those are the best beaches. I'm letting you know, right? I'm calling it right now. Those are the best beaches. You got all of you. Well, Fort Walton Beach is really not. It's not a beach town. They got more harbors, like harbors where they got the fishing boats and stuff. But when you go to like Destin or Miramar Beach, oh man, you don't get no better than that. It don't get no better than that. I mean, it's hotter than 500 fat girl fighting over bologna sandwich, but it's beautiful.
And Noah did put the Discord link in the chat, you guys. Like I said, we're gonna probably wrap up pretty soon. But y'all check out that Discord over there and make sure you just check in. We kind of post, promote, and everything in there as well. It's just like a little unbiased community where you can just talk about anything and everything is different categories along with Falcons content. But we got basketball, baseball, you got art. If you want to promote something else, that's the place that you need to be. We can get this fantasy league going by the time the season starts. But I don't see any other questions. Did anybody have anything last minute to talk about? Or we can go ahead and just wrap this thing on out. Because I know you about to get on back on the road. Night Rider.
I ain't leaving. I'm gonna spend about a good two more hours down here. We
Gotcha.
checking out at 1. So I'm gonna spend a
Okay.
couple hours now. I probably sit on the beach for a minute. I know I gotta buy some souvenirs.
Hmm.
Shoot, I'm trying to be gone by 2 p.m. Central Time.
There you
Absolutely.
go.
Well, 3 p.m. Central Time because I got to be checking out at 1. We got late check out.
Okay. And we have a comment by Ghost Peppers. Having a turnstile of an offensive line definitely didn't help matters either. Hopefully they'll improve this year instead of making excuses saying everything is all right. The quarterback is mobile now. No, mobile
Yeah,
now. So what do
yeah.
you think
Yeah.
about Ghost Pepper comment? We'll probably just wrap
That
it up after that.
that's true. What you want to do now, because you're trying to change the culture and you have mobile quarterbacks, you want to
Mm-hmm.
limit the amount of sacks and hits that he takes. Even though he's going to take hits by being mobile,
Yeah.
the problem is it
He
gives you
won't
flexibility on the offense, especially when you're doing the run game or even in the passing game. But yeah, developing the players helps build the cohesiveness in the team, and it helps the quarterback, wide receiver, running back relationship. It helps that mature, because if you got a turnstile, you got to learn a new player every time you turn around. That
right.
disrupts the team's ability to play as a unit.
Yeah. Speaking of turnstiles, I think that what kind of happened with Matt Ryan because he had a turnstile of offensive coordinators.
Mm-hmm.
How many offensive
Yeah.
coordinators did he have his whole 14 years here? Like what, 7?
15. I'm sticking with the number 15. 15.
Yeah,
See?
he had a whole bunch of them.
So basically,
That's another that'll hurt a quarterback too. Shoot, I think Dan Marino was like that. He had a whole bunch of different offensive coordinators. So almost every 2 years he had to learn a whole new system.
yeah.
That'll hurt a quarterback development a whole lot. People don't realize it.
I'll tell you what, you could put any one of the great quarterbacks in that position, and it'd have been the same thing. It would have been the
Yeah.
same thing.
So look at Brady. Brady had a more consistent amount of damn coordinators though. He really only had probably what, like
3.
3? And I guarantee
And,
you, majority of the time he had Josh McDaniels.
and the thing is, the longer you play with them, they know your tendencies. They know your personality. They know what you like. They know what you don't like. They know how you react when it gets down to crunch time. So they know how to dial up stuff that puts you in a position to win. And that's what we try to keep telling people. Matt Ryan wasn't in a stable environment.
No, it's not at all. Not at
So,
all.
and for him to flourish in an unstable environment speaks to his, ability as a quarterback.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you, man. I think if Kyle Shanahan would have stayed a few more years, Matt, he'll have a quarter. Man, we have a Super Bowl in Atlanta, man.
Yeah.
Let's see
He
a
was only
couple
there for
more
2 years.
comments. We're probably gonna get to the last 2 comments. I see Noah got a question. I see Jerome. After that, we're gonna wrap that up. Let's get to what Noah's talking about here. Game scenario question: 3rd and 7, late in the game. You need a completion. What's the route, and when you're throwing to, or who you're throwing to for that completion, no matter what?
Oh man.
That's good.
Post corner, Drake London. I played wide receiver. So that was one of my favorite routes to run. That post corner.
Mm-hmm. So
Man,
that's where you can get them. Oh, that's where you can get them over the shoulder throws.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Tell you
Can't
where,
go wrong with that
away
post
from
corner.
the defender. That's where your catch radius comes in too.
Yeah. Can't go wrong with that post corner. If you
Well,
a crisp route running wide receiver, that post corner is your best friend.
That's easy when you got a tall guy that post corner. Like the best route for me, just as a quarterback, I just them dig routes. I like precision, and I like being able to complete passes over people through them. Like, how you fit that ball in? Those are the things I like to do. So, like me, I like throwing them dig routes because I know they're gonna be mad if you consistently make that type of throw. So, like for me, no matter what, I as much as I hate to say this, but like I'm giving this to Kyle Pitts, man. Like I'm throwing that dig to Kyle Pitts. 3rd and 7. Come on, man. You can't stop that man on 3rd and 7.
And that's what you want. Yeah. You're right, Mike. That's what you want, because when you're trying to do that, you're trying to keep the drive alive. You got to have a mismatch that's going to ensure you you get that first down, and maybe and a couple more yak yards.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
That back shoulder fade, that seems like yeah.
it's not easy to defend, and that's
Yeah,
what
it's not.
that's what makes it so wonderful in this position.
It's hard to defend, but you also got to be able to make that catch.
Right.
You also got to be able to make that catch. I mean, you got a lot of receivers that can't catch a back shoulder throw to save their life.
Well, from that video we saw, we already know that Pitts ain't got no problem with that.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Good points. Question: what does Dave Ragone do? The only thing I hear is boasting about Arthur Smith's offense. What does Dave Ragone contribute to the offense? That's a good ass question. Make you think. Who really calling the plays?
Well, I would say Dave Ragone has relationships with certain players that know him. So that's going to be critical too, because it makes it easier for him to, whatever players are drawn up. Like you said, this is all about making sure that the Arthur Smith and Dave Ragone put these players in the best position to win. So with you having a relationship with them, like I said, you know their tendency, you know what they like, you know what they don't like. So you can you feel more comfortable going to the players that you have, that you know, starting off. Other than that, I would still see. I would say what you think, Mike? Who was what? 80-20 or 70-30 with Dave Ragone?
You mean just his hold on. What does it read? I mean, he's a guy that puts game plan together. Like, well, you got to understand, like having guys that you can, as an offensive coordinator, as a coach, just like leading, group of people. Like, you got to have people that throw in ideas and make sure it's like, look, because he possibly see something during the course of a game that Arthur doesn't see. So that communication is what is needed. That's why oftentimes you see a lot of offensive coordinators like Kyle Shanahan and you saw Greg Knapp a lot of times. Greg Knapp followed the Shanahans and guy. I don't know why I'm blanking out, but the offense, the Houston Texans coach. Dang it.
Who is the Texas coach?
Dang, it's on right on the tip of my tongue. He Andre Johnson. I'm cool. I don't know why I'm blanking.
Oh, you talking Bill O'Brien?
Okay.
No. I'm talking about the Andre Johnson led Matt Shaw. Why that? I can't get his name. What is his name? Is it Gary Kubiak?
Gary Kubiak, yeah.
Okay.
He so is that Shanahan system. Yeah.
So he followed Gary Kubiak everywhere he went. So like that communication and eyes, those eyes and communication for offensive coordinators and play callers are paramount for those guys, because they trust that they'll see something that somebody might not see. Because as a head coach, your eyes is on the offensive line, the secondary, the running back, the linebackers, the safety. Your eyes on everything. So you need those coordinators to be able to see certain things. And that's why you see a lot of defensive coordinators not sitting, they're not on the sideline anymore. They're sitting high so they can watch everything. So those eyes, so that's what Dave Ragone. He's an extra set of eyes to be able to see the things that Arthur Smith can't see.
It's just like Noah said, Ragone is likely sitting with Arthur Smith to develop their game plan for that opponent, and he's taking plays out of the playbook to use. Right.
Oh yeah. Man, let me go ahead and hop up out of here and get my stuff together.
Let's wrap it up. No, we don't have any questions. So, hey, man, this has been a pretty good show for you guys, man. Excellent show for you guys. Noah Tyndale, you guys continue to support him over at the Discord. He runs the Discord for AFN Mad Mike Sports. So you guys make sure that you join that, join his fantasy football league, as well as follow Marwan, aka Creative Massage. All right, go ahead, throw your socials out there, man. Let everybody know where they can find you.
All right, you guys, you can find me at Creative Vibes Massage on IG and on Twitter. Hey, I'm known as the Atlanta Falcons therapist. I'm here in case y'all got to help y'all with y'all Falcons trauma.
Yeah, boy.
But we on the regulators, and hey, everybody, give a shout out to Magnus. Wish him happy Father's Day. Hope him and his daughter are getting better. But while you on here, hey, like, share, subscribe, man, to the regulators. Man, Night Rider, you know what I'm saying? Man, Mike Sports, Maggie T, the whole AFN. Let's get these people to 1,000, man. We got to spread the good message.
That right. Also, man, y'all can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, y'all, at Night Rider 229, NYGHTRYDER 229, man. Facebook, Jason Johnson, y'all holler as well. Snapchat also, Night Rider FDU, spelled the same way. So, hey, man, let me go ahead and try to enjoy a little bit of this beach weather before I take it on back to the crib.
Yes, sir.
Got to grab a few souvenirs and shit before I go back home, man. I got 3.5 hour drive back, man.
What you got, man, Mike? Man.
Hey, man, y'all already know what to do. Make sure you head over to 6-Man K-Style, who's about, I forget the count, but we're about 100 or less than 100. I think we're less than 100 away from getting them to 1K. So you make sure, everybody, if you haven't already, head over to 6-Man K-Style. We do a live show on Thursdays where it's just me and him, and he might bring back the solo. So you might not see Mad Mike on that. You get the full K-Style, 6-Man K-Styles experience, one-on-one with 6-Man. All right, so you guys continue to support us here at Atlanta Falcons Nation, Mad Mike Sports, the Unholy Alliance, the Regulators. Hey, man, we run deep up in this mug, man. So make sure you guys continue to support. Hit those questions. We need questions, man. Stop asking. Look, we don't need laughing emojis. We don't need all the extra stuff. Give us some questions. We want to answer some damn questions, okay? So that's all I got to say. That. So with that being said, man, we appreciate everybody for joining us. Subscribe. Bye.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Yes, sir.
We catch y'all later, man. Until then, I'm gonna be over here drinking like Lincoln. Hey, I actually bought a T-shirt yesterday with Abraham Lincoln holding the beer. That shit say "Drinking like Lincoln."
That's what I'm talking about. that sounds like a party right there.
Hey, the next show I'm wearing that shirt. I'm calling it down. Wearing that shirt next show. Drinking like Lincoln.
You ain't gotta go home, but you gotta get the hell up out of here. Deuces, man.
Yeah, boy. We'll catch y'all on the flip side, man.